You know, if you weren't laying in bed watching stand-up comedy, we wouldn't be late.
Could you not have said that before we went live? Oh my God. Hey guys, this microphone's a couple times. I need to extend that countdown a little bit. Oh man.
That was
Yeah, sorry, we're running late, guys.
Super late.
It's not it is totally my fault. But if you
don't
missed
blame me.
not her fault at all. If you missed the first part of what she said, yeah, I was late because I got to get out of the habit of laying in bed scrolling through reels and stuff while after my wife and kids leave for school. You know.
Yeah, and so I get
life
here
ain't easy, bro.
like 10 minutes before the show, and he's like, all right, what are we talking about today?
It wasn't quite that. Yeah, it was pretty much that bad.
It was exactly like that. There was nothing on the screen when I got here. It said Wednesday.
I had some stuff in my head.
Right.
I just hadn't gotten it out to the screen yet. Anyway, we do have a lot to talk about. We got a good show for you today. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that your week is going well. It's man. You know, you ever have that week where you just get halfway into it and you're like, man, I'm ready for this week to be done.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm quite there, but I'm kind of there because of some craziness that's been going on in the city. I will start off the show by talking about the first thing, the cell tower, which everybody is kind of wondering about. So for those of you who are not in the loop on this, I'll give you the short version of it. There's a 5G cell tower monopole that has been proposed by Verizon Wireless to be installed over on 49th West Avenue. And the move has brought a lot of concern from the people over in the Lakes of Cross Timbers edition and others who live over in that area of town. And they came out in full force in pretty much every instance, every meeting that this involved to express their displeasure about this. So basically where we're at now, it went through the Sapulpa Planning Commission, and all of this is normal. So anytime a specific use permit has to happen, which is what would have happened for this monopole, because you're talking about putting a cell phone tower in essentially a residential area. So they had to go for this permit. Went through Sapulpa Planning Commission. How did that vote turn out? Did they deny that? I can't recall exactly.
Yes.
Okay. But that does not mean that they don't then get to move on to the city council, because the planning commission is a recommending body. And so that's what happened there. And so they went to city council. Lots of people, lots of you were there for that meeting. That was a meeting that was so full they had to have the cops stand outside the door and block people from getting in because they reached the occupational capacity. So fire marshal was there for that one. Anyway, so what ended up happening at that one, the first meeting they had, city council declined to make a motion of any kind, and so that just let the item just kind of die on the vine until it could be brought up again. And so it was brought up at the next city council, which was not last Monday, but the Monday before. And at that point, city council made a motion to approve the installation of the tower. But that did not pass. It lost at a 6-4 vote. It needed 7 votes in order to pass, and so it actually did not pass. So that was one of 2 things that Verizon needed. The other thing happened yesterday, which was at the Board of Adjustments meeting, which anytime you need to go and do something that requires a variance or an adjustment to a city ordinance, you have to appear before the Board of Adjustment. That's what happened here. This is like a 4 or 5 person board. It's appointed, it's not elected. They're not staff. So this is a complete voluntary board, but they are an authoritative board. So they needed both of these in order to get that installation. So they went there, people packed the place out again, 11 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. I mean, it was kind of surprising, but they showed up. There's a lot of folks that came up to speak about it. Again, talking about how they really didn't want to see this tower built over in that area for a number of different reasons. And then there was a motion that was made to approve it, and it tied at 2-2. And so thereby it failed. Since it did not pass, anything other than passing is a fail. So it failed the BOA. So now a lot of you guys are wondering, where are we at now? Well, I spoke with people involved and said, what is the next step for Verizon if they want to continue this? The next step is to go to district court. And so there's a whole other filing process for that. We're going to stay in the loop with the city attorney's office and things like that to try and find out more about that as we get it. But as of now, the Verizon tower, I mean, I don't know that they're going to give up. I don't know that, but because the reality of the situation is, I know a lot of you are going to disagree about this, but they meet all of the city statutes and ordinances in order to install this tower. And so that's what allowed them to get this far in the first place. If they weren't in meeting those requirements, then they never would have made it probably past the application process. But Verizon, they're a big company. They've been doing this for a long time. They know what they need to do. So, and that was brought up again and again in the meeting, that they did all the homework and all the legwork they needed to do to meet all of the regulations that had been put in place by the federal government, by the state government, and by local government. So, that being the case, there may be more to the story. We will see. We will find out. So anyway, that is to get you guys caught up on that. That's where we're at on that now. We will continue to keep you updated on that. But anyway, let's move on to some happy news. You
some
got some
positive updates.
Lonestar, right?
A couple weeks ago, we brought up the fact that Lonestar boys won state, and they were given the opportunity to purchase rings for that championship title. And those rings came in at, we said about $800 a person. Is that what we said?
Well, I think it was $35 for the entire team.
Yes,
right?
$35 for the entire team, $3,500. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember how much each ring was. $180 is what we talked about. $180 per person. So coming out to a total of $3,500. And I got an update there at about $1,200. So thank you to everyone that has donated to this opportunity and these boys, and we're just, if you have it on your heart or you want to reach out and donate a little bit, you can still do that. So reach out to Mr. Whitehouse over at Lonestar and help them get their rings.
Yep. And thanks to all of you guys who have already donated and made a difference there. It's really pleasing to see you guys come out of the woodwork to help. So that's awesome.
That is super awesome.
So, you were telling me yesterday about some, I guess, so when did the pool close? The pool hasn't even opened yet. But
no. So the pool will open.
Summertime mode already.
It's Memorial Day. Memorial Day comes first, right?
That's,
okay.
That's
so Memorial Day, we will open our Sepulveda Aquatic Center. We've been doing interviews, and we're looking for a ton of park summer staff. So we've got lifeguards, clerks, supervisor assistant over at the aquatic center, and then we are also looking for a parks aide that will come in and work with Susan while our aquatics director is out at the aquatic center for the summer. So any of those positions, they are posted on our website, as well as information is posted on the parks Facebook page, and is actually going out on our city Facebook page sometime today. So be looking out for that if you're looking for a summertime job. We are going to open the park up on Memorial Day weekend, and then we will celebrate the season and actually close the pool down at the end of July. Typically we try to keep the pool open into August. It was always super hard. We've got kids preparing to go back to school, lifeguards going back to college, different things like that. So if that's a reason why you haven't applied to be a lifeguard or a clerk because you were overworked previously or the summer was too long, know that this summer is going to be shorter than previously, and we are looking to hire more lifeguards and more clerks to cut down on your hours, so it's not as much time out in the sun, and the pay is much better this year. So definitely something to check into for yourself or somebody that you know that is 14 years old for a clerk and 16 years old for a lifeguard.
Okay. And since it's going to be closing early, I'm just going to say that if you guys intend to go to the pools this summer, you're going to have a shorter time span to do so. So be sure to go out and enjoy it as much as you can. So, well, thank you for that. And then we've got Dump Day coming up
on April 20th.
April 20th, about 3 weeks.
You do not want to miss this.
No.
It's going to be so much fun. We always have a great time out there, getting rid of our junk.
Funny. It's the most redneck thing I've ever. I can't wait for dump day. It's always so much fun. We always have a great time at dump day.
Yeah, I mean, you get to clean out all
That's
your
Oklahoma
junk,
for you,
and then
man.
you get rid of it, and then you build up more junk for the fall.
Yeah.
It just happens. I don't know where it all comes from, but it does.
It just materializes.
Yes. So on April 20th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., you can get your vouchers down at City Hall. Your utility bill does have to be in good standing. So go in there and check that out, pick up your voucher, and then bring that with you as you head on out over by our animal shelter and dump off all your junk. There is a list of materials that you cannot drop off, like liquids and paint, construction materials, TVs, refrigerators, things like that. So that list is online. So make sure you check that out before you head out there. And while you're out there getting rid of all your junk,
Speaking of animal
it's
shelter,
April,
right? Yeah.
and our animal shelter is doing half-priced adoptions through the end of April. These are for animals that have been there 6 months or longer. So you can go online to their Facebook page where they're posting a ton of pictures of the animals that they have in the shelter. And you can go online to petfinder.com, actually, where we are registered, and you can look up the type of pet that you're looking for and find out all the details there. You are always welcome to go out there and check it out. They will let you see the pups, the cats. You can play with them and see how their attitudes mix with yours, because that is a big deal.
That matters, yeah.
But that is out there, and so take advantage of that this month while you get ready for the good weather, where you can walk your dog and be outside this summer. Oh, yeah.
Good job. No, well, it's okay. You talked a lot. That's fine.
Keep going.
But-
It's your turn.
Okay. So a lot of you guys are familiar with the property over in downtown Sapulpa that was known during the Christmas shoot as Farmer's Daughter. One of probably maybe the most successful new business that we had down there. Sugar Llamas was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Trying to remember how many new ones we had. We did have several.
We had Isabella's Go Back.
Yeah.
And she was super successful. We had Opal Market that was
Yeah.
so successful. She stayed.
Yeah, she stuck around. In fact, she's I think we may be at least doing a little bit of a feature for her in the Chamber Guide this year.
Okay.
So not like a full thing, but she'll definitely be
Right.
mentioned in there. Anyway, but not about that. It's about 108 East Dewey is the property that we're talking about. So that was a property the city purchased last year.
Sometime.
At the end of the year before, maybe, and worked on getting all that cleaned out to make it available for a person to use during the Christmas shoot. It was a really great kind of showcase of how this property could be used. Well, it's available now, right?
Yep.
And so anyone who's interested in submitting a bid for that property, because it does have to go through the bidding process, can get their paperwork over at City Hall. Just walk right up to the front desk and ask them about this, and they'll be happy to give you everything you need. When is that bid due? Do you know?
I was going to look in the paperwork before I came over here because I knew you were going to ask me that. Because somebody asked me that yesterday too, and I don't have the answer. That information is all in that packet.
Okay.
So when you pick that packet up, you will talk to Michaela. You may even talk to Joan at that point. But when you bring that paperwork back in, you will meet with our city manager. Okay. She'll look over your application and all those things. So.
Okay. I do want to just kind of put a little bit of extra information on about this. I don't know. Some folks, I think they really look forward to things like the sheriff's sale for Creek County and stuff because they see it as an opportunity to get a piece of property or some products or surplus items or something for a really, really good deal. And while I don't think you won't be able to get a good deal on this property, this is not what that is. This is the city is selling this. There's going to be a bidding process, and I think you guys have a minimum bid because you have to make the money that you spent on it. At least, right?
So in that packet it tells you, exactly what we spent on it, what we spent to update it, and things like that. So the money is very minimal as far as what the city is looking for. We are looking to get that building back out there into use. We don't want to be a landlord. And have to take care of that. So it's more about what you're doing with it, how quick you're going to use it, and when it's going to be ready, up and going. And as long as it meets, downtown code and corridor restrictions and things like that, then
the master plan.
Master plan.
Right.
That is our focus, not necessarily that dollar amount. As long as we make back what we spent, because we do have to do that.
Okay. But it is a good piece of property. Sits right there on the Mother Road of Route 66, right next to some other like popular shops, right across from Vintage Market, very popular, CTS Coffee, just right down the alley from Sugar Llama, where we're sitting right now. And then it actually sits on the phase two alleyway, so just
Right.
steps away from Herald Square and everything. So it's a really good location. If you've ever wanted to move a business there, open one, this is your chance to get a really good deal, I think. So anyway, wanted to make sure you guys were aware of those things. Now we've got some events. Wednesday is when we talk about the events that are happening this weekend, and we've got a few of them. I want to make sure we get these right here. First of all, we had Johnny Merrill on the show on Friday to talk about Easter at the Chieftain Center, which is something brand new that the Way Church is doing this year. I'm really excited about this. Sounds like it's going to be a great time. So if you don't already have a church home, or maybe you just are looking for something different to do for Easter, be sure to go to check out the Way Church happening over at the Chieftain Center at, I think, 10:30 that morning instead of their normal 2 service times that they do. They'll be doing one big service over there. And Pastor Johnny did mention on Friday, they're not going to be doing childcare. It's not going to be like separate classrooms or anything. So this is definitely going to be a combined family event. So be sure to just have that in mind. You know, your whole family will be sitting with you and everything. But then after they get done with the service, they're going to go across the parking lot to the football field where they have 15,000 Easter eggs waiting for them to be hunted by what is sure to be a excited group of boys and girls. So
absolutely.
that'll be a lot of fun. Now he did say they're going to be roped off and they're going to do like sections, so you don't have to worry about your 3-year-old trying to beat out the 5th grader to get the eggs. Perfect. Or whatever. But anyway, that's going to be a good time. But that is not the only Easter egg hunt that is happening in Sapulpa. We know about another great one that's happening over at the Salvation Army on Saturday. It is and this one is like a glow egg hunt. So I think that because they're getting closer to dark there, so that's going to be a lot of fun as well. So that's at the Salvation Army. That's on Saturday evening at 5:30, and then so those are the 2 main Easter egg hunts. Unless, do you know of any other?
I don't know of any other ones. So I know that if you look around and check it out online, I've seen a couple of different like Easter events and things like that. So there's definitely some out there. But I mean,
well, and I think people are used to, Kelly Lane has done one before. They're not doing one this year.
We are not.
So.
Okay. We are not.
All right. So that's what you got going on for Easter weekend as far as Easter egg hunts and church and stuff like that. I also need to tell you guys about the new show that's coming out the following weekend. Starts Friday, April 5th, called Dead Men Send No Text. It is a brand new show. First show of the 2024 season, actually, for the Sapulpa Community Theater. Really, really cool murder mystery done in the style of an old radio play. And there will be men and women standing at microphones, and they'll be doing like the sound effects of like walking shoes on the table to make footsteps and all kinds of great stuff. It's going to be awesome. So I've never had the opportunity to see a show like this before. I think we've done them before, but it's been quite a while. So if you've never been to a show like this, be sure to go get your tickets now. They're available at sapulpatheater.org. And that show opens April 5th and runs for the next 2 weekends, including a Thursday show that following weekend. So be sure to go get your tickets while they're still available, because we are starting to sell them now. So anyway, that's going to be a great time. And then lastly, I need to give this one special attention here. This is the brand new event that is coming on Saturday, and this is an all-day deal, okay? So Kellyville, I guess, is having its very first wine and craft fair. And there is something like 75 vendors that are set up for this thing. I talked to the lady who's running it yesterday, and she's already booked up on all the vendors and has been for a while. So they're expecting a good crowd for this.
So completely free to attend.
Yes, at the Creek County Fairgrounds from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Free attendance. It is a wine and craft fair, meaning they're going to have wineries and breweries and stuff there. But it is, she said, it's a very much a family-friendly event, so you can feel free to bring your kids. There's not going to be any kind of restricted areas or anything that I'm aware of. And then it's also going to be a lot of woodworking and a lot of the other kind of things that you see at your craft fairs. So I think the weather is going to be great for it, and it's going to be a great time. So be sure to head out there. And if you missed anything that we just talked about, and you don't want to rewatch the show again because you're tired of my stupid face, then I'm going to be sending out the email. So be sure to go sign up for that, sepulchatime.com/email. We're going to be sending that out that talks about all of this and more events that we have in the calendar over at the American Heritage Event Community calendar. Okay.
Okay. And if you would like your events to be on this calendar, you need to let us know. Send it to Mike and I, Swap of Times, or personal email or Facebook's. Our events are kind of like sparse right now with it being like spring and cold. We don't have very many.
Things are still just starting to get
going. We talked about Easter on Monday, and we had some texts and emails about like, hey, there's other Easter egg hunts. So the only other one that we know about for sure is the one at Salvation Army. So if you have something going on, whether you think it's small or it's going to be huge, let us know so that we can get the information out there for you. We would love to help you out and promote you. Micah has a great ad campaign that he can send you over with his awesome newspaper. So just let us know how we can help you and get your events and information out there.
Yeah, thank you for that. Also, I'm going to be turning over she didn't make a commission on that, by the way.
No.
I appreciate it. She just did that out of the kindness of her heart.
I did.
But I am turning over the dad joke of the day over to Lucy because she told me a good one this morning. And since we were talking about the theater show, I thought this would be good. So go ahead.
So I was like, Micah, did you hear about the actor that fell through the floorboards?
The actor that fell through the floorboard? Uh-huh. No, what?
He was just going through the stage.
That was good.
That was a good one.
That was good. I like that a lot. That was awesome. Okay, so we're going to close out just like we do every day with the verse of the day. And this is from Psalm 86:15. It says, "But Lord, your nurturing love is tender and gentle. You are slow to get angry and yet so swift to show your faithful love. You are full of abounding grace and truth." And it's kind of like what I talked about yesterday. We're getting into Holy Week, so it's important that we take this time as we get closer to the day of resurrection and the day of Jesus' death on the cross, that we take time to really get to know God. And I want to encourage you guys that if you are someone who maybe you think you know God, but you've never taken the time to develop a relationship with him, or maybe you're someone who went to church as a kid and kind of got out of it as an adult or something, you need to know that God is a good God who loves you, cares for you, has plans for your life, wants to see you do well, and wants to see you live the life that he's called you to live. So get to know God this week, and I pray that you just move closer to him as we get closer to him as we celebrate Good Friday and then Resurrection Sunday. And we'll be here to help you out. So if you need prayer or anything like that, be sure to send me a private message at the Sepulpa Times Facebook page. Or if you have my phone number or something like that, you know how to get a hold of me. I am always available. So happy to help. Hope you guys are blessed by today's show. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for being part of the Time Loop. We will see you again on Friday, Free Coffee Friday, where we talk about all things happening in the town that we love. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.